The Olympic trials are behind us, and the U.S. women's Olympic gymnastics team has been decided. I'm Caroline Fenton of Yahoo Sports, joined by the legend Olympic gold medalist, Shawn Johnson. Shawn, appreciate you for joining us. It was such a fun weekend at the Olympic trials. Just kind of looking ahead, every year it seems like gold is the expectation for the US team. Should there be any reason for concern that this year could be different in Paris?
I don't think so. I think we have a phenomenally strong team. I think our team and the atmosphere and the whole vibe of the USA Gymnastics looks completely different than it ever has. I think there's been a lot of really massive, like systemic changes, and you're seeing that in how old the girls are and how they're like um just kind of showing themselves out. They're having more fun. They're engaging with each other. They seem lighter. They seem happier. They seem like they're truly enjoying the sport. As far as difficulty level and scores are concerned, I do think we are the front runners by many, many points. And so as long as they go out there and do their thing, no, I don't think there's any concern.
You brought up some changes that have been made, leadership changes in the national team. When you were competing in 2008 in Beijing, you were 16 years old. Well, four of the five team members this year are in their 20s. I was doing a lot of reading and at the Olympic trials for team members that didn't make the team. There was mental health counseling that was afforded to them. Their families were able to be with them. Seems like a big change from when you were on the national team. So, what do some of those changes maybe do for the sport and for the individual athlete?
It's a huge change. It's one that it's just a breath of fresh air for me, even as a viewer to see. Um, Back when I was competing at 16, it was definitely this kind of toxic environment of everything was survival of the fittest. And in a lot of the coaches' minds or like the government's minds for USA Gymnastics, that was whoever was the youngest. And it didn't have this atmosphere of like preserving the longevity of athletes. And so that's why you would see people retire at the age of 16, 17, 18, only go to one Olympic Games and never try again. But after Simone, after um, just seeing her and Allie Raceman completely change the entire sport and wipe down the government and just kind of start new and modernize it, they are really preserving and protecting the longevity and the health emotionally, physically of all these athletes. They even have an emotional support dog named Beacon who like lays on the floor when they compete. He's a golden retriever. I'm very biased. I have a golden retriever myself, and he's the sweetest. But just to see how much they actually care about the athletes now and they're putting their needs first, I think you're seeing that kind of showcase itself by seeing these girls repeat multiple times and being encouraged to do so.
And you bring up Simone Biles, Allie
Yep.
Raisman, not just gymnastics icons, but American
Yeah.
icons,
Yeah.
household names. Not every name on the team this year is a household name. So, who are you looking at that could be kind of that breakout star for Team USA that isn't
Um,
recognized today, but could be a month from now?
I think it's really, really cool. So, four of the five girls who are actually on the competition squad right now are repeats from Tokyo, which has never been done. That is, I don't even know how to tell you guys how big that is, but not only like the dynamic that they have with each other, the comfort level, the trust, but just the expertise and wisdom is huge. So you have Suni Lee, you have Simone Biles, Jade Carey, and Jordan Childs, who are all repeating from Tokyo. And then you have the newcomer, Hesley Rivera, who is 16 years old, the cutest thing I've ever seen. She is rock solid. She's a consistent competitor across all the major or all four events. I would say she's going to be the breakout star just because you have these veterans who are kind of helping her along. But to see her little personality come out and to see her compete with such veterans, I think will be really special.
And of course, having that experience, international experience, Olympic experience, you can see some of those repeat offenders, for lack of a better term. They have that experience under their belt. It's not their first time. They can go in with a certain level of comfort and confidence. But is there also challenges that are posed to some athletes that are coming back for their second or even third times in Simone's case?
I think so. I think there is such this unfair expectation put on them since people have seen what they're capable of years and years and years ago. people expect that and more. And I put this on Instagram last night when I was watching the Olympic trials, but I was like, they have absolutely nothing to prove to any of us. Like, this is for them, and it's at the pleasure of us to like watch their talent just kind of be showcased. Um, but I think it's really special.
Hesley Rivera is the lone newcomer to the Olympic team. Suni Lee, Simone Biles, Jade Carey, Jordan Childs, they've all been here before. So those veterans can kind of step into Paris with a certain level of confidence and comfort having been there before. But are there certain challenges for some of these repeat offenders for the second or even third time in Simone Biles' case?
I think so. I think there's an unfair level of expectation put on these veterans because people have seen what they were capable of years and years ago at different levels against different competition. But now they, like as a spectator, you expect that and more from them. If Simone got 4 golds last time, people are expecting 5 or 6 this time. And I just think it's unfair. They have absolutely nothing to prove to the world. They're there for them. They're there for Team USA. They're there to do the absolute best that they can. And every circumstance is going to be different. So I think for them as veterans returning, that's kind of lingering in the back of their mind of what if I don't do as well as last time, or what if it happens again, or what if? And that can be really, really scary for an athlete because those little lingering thoughts and doubts can be detrimental to a competition.
What does a day look like now that they've made the Olympic team? All of this training, all of this preparation for the trials, now their dreams have been realized. They're headed to the Olympics. What does it look like now? What does their day to day look like?
Um, just speaking from experience, it just feels a little bit lighter. I think the absolute hardest competition for any athlete across any sport is the Olympic trials. It is the only thing standing between you and being an Olympian. You can always go to the Olympics and, for lack of a better word, bomb it, and you're still an Olympian. But if you bomb Olympic trials and you never make it there, then you don't get that title. So I think for a lot of athletes, they're just able to breathe a little lighter and know that since they have been named to the team, all they have to do now is go perform and do what they love. They don't have any more boundaries or kind of hurdles keeping them from their dream competition. A day in the life right now, though, is just maintaining. They're staying healthy, they're doing their consistent routine, they're not trying to change anything. They're just going to take a couple of days to kind of level out, fly on over, and just get ready for the big competition.
One of the biggest stories coming out of Olympic trials, of course, was Simone Biles. But another massive story was the injuries that was plaguing some of the contestants. Charlize Jones, she went in with a shoulder injury, tweaked her knee in warmups. We saw Kayla DiCello, we saw Sky Blakely both tear their Achilles. What do you think that is? Is that athletes trying to push things to another level? Why such a massive rate of injuries this year at the trials?
I honestly don't know. It's very, very uncommon. It's very odd to see. I honestly think it was just a really, really bad day and a bad dose of luck. I hate to say that, but to see so many girls who were high, high contenders. Shilese was almost a lock-in for the team, and Sky Blakely and Kayla were huge contenders as well. It was really, really sad, especially with Sky Blakely. She got injured during Olympic trials in 2021. For her, I can't even imagine how heart-shattering that is. To work so hard to come back 3 years later for another games only to be met with the same thing was really, really heartbreaking to watch. And then Kayla and Shilese, I don't know what was causing it, what was going around. I hated that it was contagious and spreading, but there was definitely something, and it was really, really unfortunate to witness.
I think the word heartbreaking
Oh
is
my
the
gosh.
perfect way to put it. After years of training, and that's your biggest dream to not see that become realized because of injury truly is just heartbreaking. But from the other competitor standpoint, maybe seeing a friend, a former teammate, a teammate now go through that, what kind of effect does that have on the other gymnasts?
I hate to say that word again, but it truly is and can be contagious. Seeing that happen to someone so close to you, it can put that kind of doubt in your mind as a competitor, and it can shake you. We saw on the live broadcast, we saw Suni Lee in tears and Simone go running up to Shilese trying to help her out. And when you're that close to injuries, it can really shake the confidence that you have in your own abilities. And I was really happy. I was praying so hard that nobody else got injured and that doubt kind of lingered into their minds. I do feel like they were able to shake it off after a couple rounds, but it was scary to watch.
Be wishing a speedy recovery for all of the athletes dealing with injuries, and of course sending good and healthy vibes to everyone else's way. But I think the theme of the day is expectation for the team, expectation for the individuals, that those expectations aren't going anywhere anytime soon, especially not this year. So in terms of expectations, it's a gold medal. Who do you think could be the biggest threat to Team USA sitting atop the podium in Paris?
China's looking really, really good this year. They're producing scores they haven't produced in a long time. I do still think the team competition is, we are top contenders. I don't want to jinx anything. I can't say anything too much, but I do think we're very, very heavy in the score category and the difficulty category and execution. So as long as we just take a deep breath and perform well, we should have that.